वो चैट क्या चैट तो ये क्या हो गया पार्ट ये दिखा रहा है ठीक बात मेरी आवाज आ रही है can you guys hear me गुड शाबाश शाबाश अच्छा बच्चों अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन we are about to start a class first open your VLE everybody open your VLE open your VLE on the system ठीक है जी there is a book with the name in the topic 1 there is a book with the name of book Sunil Chopra open that book and come to the chapter number 3 that is on page number 57 it is on page number ठीक है जी very good shabash those who have opened chapter number 3 it's on page number 57 ठीक है this is the old version which we will be following since we don't have a soft copy okay so we will be working on this book let me download this book so please do not forward this book to anyone since it has a copyright I just have shared with you because of the requirement so please avoid any further sharing of the book so there is a presentation slide in this topic 1 and there is a lesson plan 1 so first open your lesson plan 1 okay yes all are present no need to say present okay so today's lesson plan is what we are going to do we are going to identify the major drivers of the supply chain performance first objective is second is discuss the role each driver plays in creating a strategy fit between the supply chain strategy and the competitive strategy define the key metrics that track the performance of the supply chain in terms of facility driver okay, these are the topics which we have never studied before so today we are going to study in detail okay understanding the supply chain performance and role of each driver in maintaining strategic fit this will be your learning objective okay assessment I will be assessing you through the questions which is at the end of this chapter so I have already created the link on the VLE if you can see over here this is the link on this link you have to submit your all the discussion questions okay that's how you have to go about it so let's start with the chapter that is drivers of supply chain there are as you all know I might have discussed that drivers of supply chain management there are two categories of supply chain drivers the real concept of driver is through which the supply chain management perform supply chain management function performs at its best through the two categories of driver. That is, one is logistical, the other one is cross-functional driver. So we see we have three kinds of logistical drivers. Number one is facilities. Facilities are the manufacturing facility and the storage facility. Okay, facility includes the manufacturing plus storage facility. We have the inventory driver, which is the second kind of logistical driver. And you all know the inventory, there are different kind of inventory, which we will be discussing further. I am just giving you an overview over here. Inventory, as you all know, can be of different kinds, and inventory is one of the logistical drivers. Inventory can be in process, inventory can be finished. Okay, inventory can be of raw material, inventory can be of maintenance material, inventory can be of any kind. Okay, the inventory is one of the logistical driver. The transportation is the third driver, which is also called the logistical driver. And you know what is transportation? In that you move your inventory and products from one place to another place. Okay, this is what transportation is. Cross-functional driver are which are not restricted to only the logistical only. They are not restricted. They communicate from all the functions of the company. Okay, logistical driver only restricted to the logistics part, but cross-functional driver communicate with all of the department of the company plus with the logistics driver as well. Information is one of the driver. Acha, one of the student is asking me, kindly repeat facilities. Okay, facilities, I have not described facility in detail. I just give you a flavor that facilities are the manufacturing and the storage area of any company. Okay? I just give you an overview over here. What is logistics? One of the student is asking. So logistics is basically storage and movement of the product. Okay, from one place to another. Logistics is the placement of the material and the movement of the material. Particularly, sir, I can't hear you. Please, I think turn off your mic so that you can hear me. Don't say present as sir. Please repeat what is the meaning of driver in SC. I think in driver, what I told about you, the driver is through which the supply chain management moves and give the performance. Without driver, you can never get the performance of the supply chain management function. Okay, so through these drivers, we attain the best performance in the supply chain function. This is all. Okay, in detail we will be studying. So you just need to have an overview. Okay. Information is one of the cross-functional drivers. Since I told you information will be communicating with the facilities as well, with inventory, transportation, sourcing, pricing. So it will be communicating with all. Cross-functional driver, we are saying it means it will not be restricted to one function of the supply chain management. It will be interacting or communicating, or it will not be restricted to one department only. It will be communicating with other functions as well. For example, information will be communicating or will be interacting with the facilities. Okay, information will be information will be delivering its part in the facilities, in the inventory and transportation, in everyone. I will be discussing in detail as I told you before. So you have to be with me. Sourcing is when you acquire the services or product from the another company. Okay, in detail we will be discussing. Pricing is which we settle. Pricing is which we settle for the product and other services. Okay, and pricing is also the cross-functional driver. So let's move on to the facilities one by one. We will be discussing one by one. So what does driver means? Again, students are asking. I told you drivers, through drivers we get the performance in the supply chain. Okay, through the through tackling the drivers, through getting the uh, uh, through working with the drivers, through uh, working with the driver, we get the efficiency and effectiveness, which we will be discussing after a while. Okay, we get the responsiveness and we get the efficiency through the drivers. If we want to tackle the supply chain, if we want to get the best out of the supply chain, we need to use the driver at its best. इसी समझ में, ठीक है? That's all. आगे मैं और डिस्कस करूँगा, it will be clearing you out. ठीक है? Cross functional, what does one of the students is asking, what is cross functional? Cross functional means it is not restricted to one function only. It will be communicating with all the supply chain functions. ठीक है? Information will be communicating with all the functions, sometimes with the other than the supply chain. पर आवाज़ थोड़ी स्लो आ रही है, ठीक है, ठीक है, अब आवाज़ बहुत कम आ रही है. अच्छा, तो आपको करना यह है कि you have to turn off your mics, see your microphones, you have to turn off your microphone. ठीक है, फिर इंशाल्लाह बेहतर हो जाएगी. ठीक है, आई हैव नॉट टर्न ऑन द वीडियो जस्ट फॉर द रीज़न के सो दैट यू गेट द गुड वॉइस. ठीक है, इंटरनेट इशू है आपका, मुझे क्लियर आवाज़ नहीं आ रही. देखें, इट इज़ क्लियर फ्रॉम हेयर एंड यू गाइस हैव टू टर्न ऑफ योर माइक्रोफोन्स. How can information be communicated? One of the students is asking, how can information be communicated? ये you just have to wait for a while. ठीक है, we are going to discuss the about the information driver in detail. ठीक है, आ रही है क्लियर आवाज़? शाबाश समीर मुस्तफ़ा. यस सर, क्लियर है, शाबाश शाबाश. अच्छा जी, फैसिलिटी वी आर, अच्छा वी आर ऑन द प्रेजेंटेशन, सो प्लीज़ कीप ओपन योर प्रेजेंटेशन, कीप योर प्रेजेंटेशंस. मैं कान साफ कर लेता हूँ. अच्छा जी, फैसिलिटीज़ आर द एक्चुअल फिजिकल लोकेशन द सप्लाई चेन नेटवर्क, जो आपको डिस्कस करता है. इट इज़ द फिजिकल लोकेशन इन द सप्लाई चेन वेयर प्रोडक्ट इज असेंबल्ड और फैब्रिकेटेड. ओके, असेंबल्ड, फैब्रिकेटेड, स्टोर्ड. ओके, assembled and fabricated where the product is being made. ठीक है, everything will be counted over here. There are two major types of facilities are production sites and storage sites. जैसे मैंने आपको I already discussed it before. आवाज़ बिल्कुल क्लियर आ रही है. अच्छा जी, तो facilities are the actual physical, the two major types of facilities are production sites and storage sites. Decisions regarding the role, location, capacity and flexibility of facilities have a significant impact on the supply chain performance. Actually, this is very important. Okay, whatever we decisions we take as the role, okay, what will be the role of the facility? Okay, what will be the location of the facility? What will be the capacity, flexibility of facility? Okay, it has a significant or a major impact on the supply chain performance. For example, if you don't define the role well, then your supply chain will really get impacted. Same with the location, capacity, flexibility, which we will be discussing in detail. Okay, we will be discussing in detail. I just gave you an idea. For example, facilities are the actual physical location of the supply chain. I just told you. Okay, in these facilities, uh, warehouse is also part of the facility. Manufacturing facilities part of, for example, Nestle has the warehousing facility near its production facility. Their production facility is at Kabirwala and Multan. So Kabirwala and Multan are the facilities of the Nestle company. Okay, these are the actual physical location in the supply chain network. Okay, where the products is being manufactured. We will be discussing in detail, since the facility is the only driver which we will be discussing up to the metrics. Okay, and we will be learning how to measure the facilities, the performance of the facilities. Okay. Second driver is the inventory. Inventory encompasses all raw material, work in process, and finished good within the supply chain. changing inventory policies can dramatically alter the supply chain efficiency and responsiveness. Now you have to understand supply chain, what is the role of inventory in the supply chain? See, inventory is our asset. Okay, so it means we have invested a good amount in the inventory. Okay, so whenever we invest in the inventory, we it means we are required the responsiveness. We are required the responsiveness, and whenever we compromised on the inventory, whenever we delay the inventory, it means we are trading off between the responsiveness and efficiency. For example, if we have opened the warehouses in the near the customers, it means we have more inventory. Okay, so we are improving the responsiveness to the customers after trading off with the efficiency. Okay, so there's a trade-off between the efficiency and responsiveness over here, especially in inventory. You always trade off whenever you go for the responsiveness, whenever you try to give the short time to the customer delivery or ordering. So you have to improve the responsiveness, and for responsiveness you need to have a good amount of inventory. You need to have a good uh, you need to have a good product availability. Okay, good number of variation in the product, like SKUs. So everything you need to have to give the good response. And for giving the good response, you compromise on the efficiency. Okay, efficiency is lowering the cost. Obviously, it has a good cost of taking a warehouse near the customer or developing a facility near the customer. You see the Spark Suzuki or the Suzuki company try to give the response to the customer through developing their facility and developing the inventory near the customer. ठीक है? So we will be looking at the examples as well. सर आवाज़ नहीं आ रही सर सर नहीं समझ आया नहीं. अच्छा सर आवाज़ जो आ रही है आपकी सर फिर से बताएं ये एग्जाम्पल. अच्छा जी ठीक है. इन्वेंट्री आई टॉक अबाउट इन्वेंट्री. इन्वेंट्री इज वन ऑफ योर एसेट. ओके, it is it has a lower liquidity than the cash, but it has the high liquidity after the cash. Understanding this kind of asset, you need to have the inventory uh, by keeping in your mind the trade-off between the responsiveness and efficiency. Whatever whatever response you want to give to the customer, whatever services you want to give to the customer, you have to keep the inventory accordingly. You never keep the good amount of inventory. Okay, if you are concentrating on the efficiency. If you are concentrating on the efficiency, you never keep the good amount of inventory. For example, in inventory, Walmart tried to improve their efficiency. What they did, they what they did, they cross dock. The new concept of the cross docking was introduced by the Walmart. And what they used to do, they whenever the supply of the toilet paper rolls comes in the Walmart, they don't offload it. They just move to the next truck, and the next truck go to the retail store. So they never keep the inventory. So keeping the high inventory will definitely trade off your efficiency. So you have to keep in mind, okay, whenever you say that whenever your company says, or any company says that we are giving the variety, it means your company is giving the responsiveness. When the company is giving the responsiveness, there is a cost involved. Okay, and you have to compromise on your efficiency. Got it? जी बच्चों, got it? कुछ बोल कर देखें. हाँ वी कैन ओनली चेक. यस यस, चलिए शाबाश शाबाश. थैंक यू फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. Next topic is we have the transportation. Transportation is very, very important. So one of the students is saying, "Hey, I'm not getting it." You have to wait for a while because all the topics we will be discussing again and again. Okay, by and large. So I will be reviewing the topic again. So in that I will be telling you about the inventory. So you have to keep listening to me. Take it carefully. Transportation is one of the last driver of the last logistical driver. Transportation entails moving inventory from point to point in the supply chain. Okay? Transportation driver is responsible for movement of the goods in the supply chain. And whenever we talk about the supply chain starts from the procurement of the raw material to the end customer. Okay, so in across the supply chain, transportation entails moving inventory from point to point. Okay, through transportation we deliver to our customers. Through transportation we give the timely delivery. We have different choices of routes and we have different choices of modes of transportation. Okay, we have, for example, we have airplane is one of the mode of the transportation. Ship is one of the mode of transportation. Okay, there are different modes of transport. There are many modes of transportation. Pipeline is one of the mode. Air is one of the mode of transportation. So it depends upon the product. So the basic purpose of the transportation is to just moving your product or services, moving your product from one place to another place. Okay, तो आवाज़ क्लियर नहीं आ रही, थोड़ा माइक पीछे करके बोलिए। ठीक है, ठीक है। ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज इजी वन पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक कोई इन्वेंट्री सेंड करना टीसीएस और डीएचएल। ठीक है, शाबाश शाबाश, शरिया सही है। ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज मूवमेंट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक कोकोला टेक, शाबाश बिल्कुल सही। कंट्री टू कंट्री सही है, वेरी गुड सही। Transportation choices have a large impact on the supply chain responsiveness and efficiency. See, transportation at a large cost. Why? Because no transport, no transport to गलत होगा, लेकिन most of the transport uses the fuel, which has the highest cost. ठीक है, across the world, and most of the countries import the fuels from another country. So usually fuel is very expensive. So transportation takes almost 10% of the cost of the movement of the goods. ठीक है, तमाम all movement of the goods. So transportation mode of transportation, selection of the mode of the transportation is very critical. For example, if you want to give the better response to your customer, then you have to use the airplane. If you want to give if you want to improve the efficiency in your system and your supply chain, then you can compromise on your mode of transportation, and you can use ship or other way of transportation. So it depends upon you. It depends upon you what kind of response you are supposed to give to the customer or you have promised to give to the customer. So transportation is dependent on the promise or the choices you make to fulfill the competitive strategy of your company. Okay. So the next topic is information. As we have studied the information, बताएं अब समझ गई सर ये तो चलो information का है। अच्छा जी, information जो है वो information is the fourth driver, that is the cross function driver. Information is very critical, and through information we attain the efficiency as well, and we attain the responsiveness as well. This is one of the driver which affects both of the performance of the supply chain, both extreme ends of the performance. Information consists of data and analysis concerning facilities, inventory, transportation, cost, pricing, customer throughout the supply chain. Okay, and what information consists? Data and analysis. See, data, if you have a data, then you can only analyze the performance of the facility, the consumption of the facilities, the role of the facilities, the performance of the facilities, same like the inventory, transportation, cost, prices, and customer throughout the supply chain. See, information is the integral part. For example, if you take an example in inventory, you don't have to keep the big size of inventory. For example, you have opened a new shop or you have opened a new business. You have started your new business. In the new business, you have the trends in the product demand. So through the product demand, through that information, you start manufacturing the product, and with the same demand the product will be forwarded to the retailer or to the customer. So these kind of trends will help you to manufacture as per the requirement. So information is very critical. As far as the retailer is concerned, retailer gives the information to the manufacturer sometimes, and it really increase the cost to the retailer, but it is very effective for the manufacturer. For example, Imtiaz store, how much every kg has been sold by the Imtiaz store. So this all information has been transferred to the manufacturer, that is Nestle. Nestle Pakistan has got the information that one of the biggest, uh, one of the biggest, uh, one of the biggest retailer, one of the biggest retailer of Pakistan in that store, how much everyday kg has been sold up till yet, so that they can expedite the manufacturing of the everyday, or they can delay. Okay, they can delay their manufacturing of their product. So inventory is all about the information gate. Since we have, if we will have the more inventory, we will have to incur more cost. So it is basically decreasing the cost. Okay, it is really facilitating the inventory, that you have to keep the low inventory. When you have the low inventory and you have more information, then only you can have the good response and the best efficiency. Okay, this is the example I just gave you in the inventory. हाँ, ये one of the student asked me a question, information सारे driver पे affect करेगा? Yes, I just gave you a detailed example of the inventory. Yes, it will be affecting all the drivers. Transportation भी करेगा. For example, you have a transportation logistics company, ठीक है? And if you have the information when the lorry or truck or the container started, at what time it started, its ignition started, and how long did it take, how long did it travel, and what is the location of the particular truck. Okay, every information is being collected and is being analyzed. When you analyze the information, you improve the cost. You try to decrease the excess. You try to decrease the waste in the driver. Okay. इंफॉर्मेशन की एग्जांपल वही है कि उन्हें कैसी कार चाहिए, कलर कौन सा चाहिए, और क्या क्या हाँ बिल्कुल सही है. इट्स अबाउट दी नॉलेज अबाउट द कस्टमर. ये भी इंफॉर्मेशन है. सर आप थोड़ा ज़ोर से बोलें, आवाज़ एक्सट्रीम स्लो आ रही है. कुछ स्टूडेंट कह रहे हैं आप सर आहिस्ता बोलें या माइक दूर करें. अब आप कह रहे हैं चलो मैं ज़ोर से कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. सो विदाउट इन्फॉर्मेशन द ड्राइवर कैन बी परफॉर्म. देखिए, विदाउट इन्फॉर्मेशन the drivers will be performing but not at its best. For example, if you talk about the big companies, the top companies in the world, they have the very best in class information infrastructure. Okay, if they have good information infrastructure, their all drivers will perform at their best. Okay, इंफॉर्मेशन आपके पास रेलिवेंट होनी चाहिए, अदरवाइज ड्राइवर पे नेगेटिव इफेक्ट. बिल्कुल सही है. इन्फॉर्मेशन आपका रेलिवेंट नहीं है तो वो बेकार है आपके लिए. ठीक है, इट्स इररेलेवेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ़ यू हैव द इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ अदर्स ट्रक, अदर्स लॉरीज, अदर कंपनीज डिटेल्स ऑफ अदर कंपनीज ट्रक, इट विल बी यूजलेस फॉर यू. सो इट हैज़ टू बी रेलिवेंट विद द वर्क यू आर डूइंग. ठीक है. It will affect the cost of the product. It will affect the price of the product. Okay, it will affect the customers throughout the supply chain. It will affect cost, transportation, prices, customers, inventory, facilities. It will affect each and every driver differently. Information is potentially the biggest driver performance in the supply chain because it directly affects each of the other drivers. Information can be feedback too for further production. शाबाश, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं कि if you have, जिसमें आपको बताया कि इम्तियाज स्टोर, how many product has been sold by the इम्तियाज. Now this information can be processed by the manufacturing facility. So this is the feedback basically. Or if you talk about the feedback of the customer, तो obviously वो big information है. For example, if you want to improve the quality of your product, let's say for example, you have launched a mobile, or you have launched some any new product like like an electronic car or like electric car, which can be charged through the electric. Okay, so its feedback is very very important for you. The information you are getting from the customer is very very critical for your production. So it happens. Yes, information presents management with the opportunity to make supply chains more responsive and more efficient. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि information presents management an opportunity with the opportunity to make supply chain more responsive and more efficient. So it affects the responsiveness and efficient both. This is very very interesting and the point has to be noted. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. That is sourcing. Sourcing is the choice who will perform a particular supply chain activity such as production, storage, transportation और the management. जितनी भी तमाम activities हैं, that is production is one of the activity. ठीक है, storage is one of the facility activity, transportation was one of the activity, or the management of information, that is the management of the IT. ठीक है, or IT or information. ठीक है, this is all being done by you or by some third party. ठीक है, this you have to decide. ठीक है, sourcing is the concept, the choice who will perform. Either you will perform in-house or you will outsource. It's over you. At the strategic level, now at the strategic level, as we have already studied, there are different levels in the supply chain. One is strategic level. The other one is which level? No. The third one is operational level. The second one is tactical level. And the first one is strategic level. In the strategic level, you decide about the sourcing. Either you are sourcing or not. Sourcing means you are acquiring from someone. For example, I already gave you example before that Nestle Pakistan procures the breakfast cereals from the other production facility of their own. Okay, that is Malaysian or sometimes Philippine. Okay, and they procure from All 10 and NAN. These are the infant baby products. These products are being acquired from the source from the other manufacturer of the other company. And there are many companies whose management system is being outsourced by the different consultancy agencies. So these are the sourcing decisions are being made at the strategic level. The important ones. Sourcing is also called internal or external functions. Okay. Sourcing, you may say, for example, if you are not outsourcing your transportation, like Walmart has not outsourced their transportation. They want to improve their responsiveness, so they have their own transportation fleet, which move the product from the warehouses to their retail store. Okay, so yes, they have not outsourced. It is their internal function, and it can be the external function. If they outsource, there are many companies in Pakistan which have outsourced their, like I gave you example, PSO Pakistan. PSO has outsourced their all the lorries of all tankers to Shakur and Company. Shakur and the company is the logistics provider. They are the contractors of the PSO, which is the oil manufacturing company. So it depends upon the strategy of the company whether they want to keep this function with them or not. The storage facility, you can get the storage facility from the TCS, OCS, or any other company which can provide you the storage facility. Okay. So you can have the production facility like many of the companies across the world has outsourced the production facility. In Pakistan, the Nike or other brands have outsourced their production facility. So Pakistan produce the product for them. So it varies and it depends upon the strategy. What is their strategy? And I already gave you example of the Unilever, that Unilever Pakistan never makes the their very famous product Surf Excel by themselves. It is being made by the By which company? Fateh Ali Chemicals. Fateh Ali Chemicals is the company which manufacture the detergent for the Union. So the production is being outsourced by the Union. सर स्टिल कंफ्यूज शरियार मुस्तफ़ा सर आउटसोर्सिंग नहीं आया समझ राइट इफेक्टिवनेस के लिए सोर्सिंग इज आल्सो कम अच्छा देखें sourcing I'm just telling you again sourcing it means you don't go to perform any particular function like production storage transportation or management of function you outsource the function you ask the another party to work for you and there can be many reasons for example it is not your specialty and you don't want to
कहाँ है तुम्हारे स्टूडेंट दिख रहे हैं?
yes,
मैं दिख रहा हूँ तो नहीं कैमरा बंद किया
कैमरा
कहना भाई शाबाश दिल लगा के पढ़ाई करो और जो है ना अपनी ज़िंदगी में अपने वालिदैन का अपने मुल्क का अपना नाम रोशन करो
ठीक है बच्चों तो sourcing I was telling you sourcing the reason of sourcing is you want to keep your specialty with you. For example, you don't have to go in another specific area so that you can keep improving on your specialty and you can focus on your cash cows. Okay. So for the specialty of the performance or for the better performance, you keep your few functions focused and you give best out of it. ठीक है? हाँ जी चलो जी ओके समझ आ गया सर इम्तियाज साहब थे बिल्कुल सही है इनएक्सपीरियंस भी रीजन है ये क्या था sourcing also known as procurement is the practice of locating and selecting businesses or individual based on set criteria. Sourcing is carried out in business in many different areas and for different reasons. One of the most common uses of sourcing is in supply chain management. ठीक है ये किसी ने यहाँ से पेस्ट किया सोर्सिंग को प्रोक्योरमेंट भी कह सकते हैं लेकिन सोर्सिंग का जो इधर कॉन्सेप्ट है वो पर्टिकुलरली जस्ट टू either you go for by your own or you acquire from others ठीक है so this is also called procurement ठीक है but in detail if we say that sourcing is the decision that who will perform a particular supply chain activity that's all ठीक है over here we close sourcing decisions affect both the responsiveness and efficiency of a supply chain yes because sometimes you improve the responsiveness like Zara Man is a company which improve their responsiveness through keeping the manufacturing facility of few products in the Europe which are the products which are usually changed the fashion products or the highest demand product in the Europe so just to keep the responsiveness better they keep this function by themselves and to improve the efficiency of their supply chain they go for the bulk manufacturing through the Chinese manufacturing okay so through the Chinese manufacturer or from any other country any company can improve the efficiency of their production okay सर जैसा एग्जांपल आईफोन की स्क्रीन सैमसंग मैन्युफैक्चर करता है बिल्कुल सही हो सकता है बिल्कुल जस्ट टू डिक्रीज द कॉस्ट ठीक है और टू कैपिटलाइज देयर एक्सपर्टीज ठीक है और आउटसोर्स यानी कि अपना प्रोडक्ट को सेल करने के लिए दूसरी कंपनी के रिसोर्सेज यूज़ करना आउटसोर्स यानी कि अपना प्रोडक्ट को सेल करने के लिए दूसरी नहीं देखिए सेल करने पे डोंट restrict yourself to the sale of the product okay it can be the manufacturing of the product as well इस सेल को restrict नहीं करें you can never restrict to the sale of the product ठीक है you can never restrict to the sale of the product it can be the manufacturing of the product it can be you can have the any management of the information or the transportation of the that is service actually ठीक है जी आगे चलें let's move on ठीक है, तमाम हमने डिटेल कर दी, विद एग्जांपल कर दी। लेट्स मूव ऑन। सर आया ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज द मेन थिंग इन आउटसोर्सिंग बेसिकली। यस सर, हाँ, बिकॉज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज द मेन कॉस्ट in the most of the times except few products जैसे डिटर्जेंट है, वी टॉक अबाउट द टोबैको में जो है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट कम है। वी टॉक अबाउट द शैम्पू, ठीक है, मेकअप, कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट्स, दिस प्रोडक्ट हैव द लेस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट एंड द मोर मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट। ओके, so these it may vary, but usually manufacturing is the highest cost, like the milk। डिफरेंस बता दें एक भी और सोर्सिंग एंड आउटसोर्सिंग में। हाँ सही है, ये अच्छा सवाल किया। देखें, सोर्सिंग और आउटसोर्सिंग मीन्स कि यू आर not performing a particular function yourself. Outsourcing is when you are not performing a particular supply chain activity by yourself. ठीक है, ठीक है, particular activity by yourself. And sourcing is when you procure a raw material for you, ठीक है, when you procure a maintenance product for you, when you procure the machines for you, so that is all sourcing। ठीक है, डन, गॉट इट। तो हो गया, अब आगे चलते हैं हम। आगे हम आ गए प्राइसिंग पे। दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सिंस वी आर द प्राइस सेंसिटिव मार्केट, ठीक है, वी आर द प्राइस सेंसिटिव मार्केट, सो वी नीड टू कंसिडर दिस प्राइसिंग वेरी वेल। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द कस्टमर्स, आप यूजुअली देखते हैं, यू वी ऑल विटनेस दैट the footfall of the customers are very much high when the prices are low for any product like sale, ठीक है जी। तो it means the customers are price sensitive, so first you look at the inventory, first you look at the information, what information you have, either you can reduce the price, you can give the differential price or not, either you have to इसमें डिमांड में सप्लाई का होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर सेलिंग मास्क, ठीक है, मास्क और हैंड वॉश नाउडेज, सो यू कैन इंक्रीज योर प्राइस easily if we keep the ethics at the side then I am telling you you can increase the prices, and if you want to keep the ethics, you have to follow the ethics, then you have to increase the price as per the market. For example, if market, all the competitors in the market are keep increasing the price, you have to increase as well, ठीक है, so that you don't lose your image। ठीक है, कौन सी चीज़ कितने की है और कितनी डिमांड है, कितनी सप्लाई है और कितने कस्टमर उस पर आते हैं, इफ़ देयर इज़ गुड प्राइस, वेरी गुड। देखिए, when we talk about the price sensitive products, the products may vary. For example, when I used to talk in the L'Oreal Pakistan CEO always used to say that we will never launch any sachet, and the reason they used to tell was that sachet can never be fit for our premium customer. It has a premium image, and the customers are giving the high prices among the competitors. So we can never start a sachet, ठीक? Because there is a mentality of customer. For example, the doctors, the high price, the high fee of a doctor represents its demand in the industry. Sometimes we have to follow. Usually, it varies from the product to product. For example, you are manufacturing the UST milk. ठीक है, UST milk, you cannot have the distinct prices since your product has a very less differential. Okay, so you have to keep the market price. Pricing, first line of the slide is pricing determines how much a firm will charge for goods and services that it makes available in the supply chain, ठीक है, how much a firm will charge for goods and services that it makes available in the supply chain. This is the decisions that any company takes for their product and services, ठीक है, ठीक है, reduce supply chain cost to get profitability, ठीक है, लेकिन here we are not talking about the cost, here we are talking about the price specifically, Sir, but this is not right to increase the price when it's vital for society. Like nowadays, हाँ शाबाश, मैंने ये आपसे कहा था ना कि अनएथिकल है, एथिक्स को हमने साइड में रख के बात करी कि अगर इफ़ यू वांट टू इंक्रीज द प्राइस, देखें आप बढ़ा सकते हैं लेकिन एथिकल नहीं है। ठीक है सर, लॉरियल में थे आप सर, वो हेयर कलर वाली फॉर्म, हाँ वही हेयर कलर वाली फॉर्म, ठीक है आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं, उसका हेयर कलर अच्छा होता है। यहाँ तो एथिक्स ही नहीं है प्राइसिंग की, वायरस आया तो मास्क की प्राइस बढ़ा दी डिमांड की वजह से। देखिए इसमें यूजुअली जो प्राइसेस बढ़ती है ना, ये थर्ड पार्टी इन्वॉल्व होती है। थर्ड पार्टी का मतलब जो डीलर होते हैं ना, जो होलसेलर होते हैं, वो अमूमी तौर पे जो है ना वो दे इंक्रीज द प्राइस। कंपनीज 20 रुपए का मास्क है, आप उसको 100 रुपए का नहीं कर देंगे, इट कैन नेवर हैपन। ठीक है, यूजुअली नहीं होता, यूजुअली सेल्डमली हो सकता है कि अमंग 1000 कंपनी वन कंपनी कैन डू दैट, but usually it never happens. Usually it happens by the dealers, by the wholesalers, by the retailers, by the third parties involved, by the channel involved. The channel usually takes their margin and they usually short the product. They dump the product. You see, we all are dumping the products through buying the daily grocery in a bulk quantity. Like in many stores, there is too much crowd and people are dumping. So the same happens with the dealer. Dealer start in dumping. One of my students was telling me, sir, I tried to gather the mask for the free supply, for the supply in my company, and I ordered 2 cartons. But before even arriving the coronavirus in Pakistan, all of the masks were short, and they were short in two, and the prices were truly high. So all the dealers have invested in them, and they started dumping it. So there are many factors. One of the factors is dumping. ठीक है, बट सर जब डिमांड ज़्यादा होती है तो रॉ मटेरियल भी महंगा हो जाता है, तो प्राइस, शाबाश, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, पर इफेक्ट तो हुआ। इज इन ऑल्सो फैक्टर, बिल्कुल सही, मुजाहिद ने बहुत अच्छा सवाल किया। देखें होता क्या है कि, बट देखें रॉ मटेरियल prices are never that much high. For example, if our company is making the face wash or the hand wash, नहीं कहेंगे उसे, hand sanitizer in 200 rupees, it never happens that its raw material will be twice of its amount. Usually it never happens. ठीक है, so it usually happens with the end product. हाँ, yes, you are true that it due to its raw material, its price affect. ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं। जैसे अमूमी तौर पे आप देखते हैं कि यूएसटी मिल्क prices are increased. For example, you can get the UHT milk. I have not purchased UHT milk for long, but you might have purchased the UHT milk. So the UHT milk prices are very much high, and the reason is what? Reason is the raw material prices. The milk is being purchased by the companies in a very high price. ठीक है जी, ठीक है, वेरी 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 गुड पॉइंट। ऑब्वियसली सर दी मास पर शॉर्ट बिकॉज सब गेम है सर, लेकिन मुझे 35 रुपीज़ अच्छा चलिए, गुड, आपको मिल गई, वर्ड लकी। सर इतने हाई प्राइसेस जो नहीं होते जैसे मास्क और आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं, ये तो गलती करिए ना, जिस तरह हमने डंप किया है, मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, जिस तरह हमने डंप किया है, like we dump the groceries at our home and most of the grocery prices are high because of this reason. ठीक है, for example, it is famous that due to bananas that the coronavirus will affect you less. Now the price of banana will be high, and the reasons will be the dealers or the wholesalers or the retailers start investing in it and they start dumping it and they start storing it and they don't bring that in market. नहीं नहीं, आप बिल्कुल बनाना स्टोर नहीं करें, मैं आई वाज जस्ट गिविंग यू एन एग्जांपल हाउ इट हैपेंस। खैर बहरहाल आगे लेट्स मूव ऑन। The pricing determines how much a firm will charge for goods and services that it makes available in the supply chain. Prices affect the behavior of the buyer of the goods and services, thus affecting supply chain performance. Again, it is very important. For example, if one of your customer, you are part of the logistics company, TCS or OCS or UDL or any other company, these companies give the differential price. For example, these companies say that if you want your parcel or your product to be sent in a usual prices, in the ordinary prices, then you have to give your parcel a good time ahead. And if you don't want an ordinary prices, okay, then you can send your parcel at the time when you have to transfer it to the other person. Okay? So the differential pricing really impacts, okay, and you use the pricing to cater the different kinds of customer. So that's how you use the pricing. So this is the important one of the important driver. There are a few points to remember. कि बच्चे जो ना वो सर योर वॉइस इज नॉट क्लियर, तो मतलब सर प्राइस कैन नॉट बी कांस्टेंट, इट विल चेंज अकॉर्डिंग टू एन ऑनगोइंग सिचुएशन और कीप अ कांस्टेंट प्राइस इज गुड. ठीक है जी, कांस्टेंट इज नथिंग, ओनली वन थिंग इज कांस्टेंट, दैट इज चेंज. ठीक है, तो यू कैन नेवर कांस्टेंट द प्राइस सिंस यू आर नॉट द होलसेल पर्सन. ठीक है, सिंस वी हैव द लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज एंड ड्यू टू द लिमिटेशन ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज द प्राइसेस वेरीज. इकोनॉमिक्स आपने पढ़ी होगी, द प्राइसेस ऑलवेज वेरीज. ठीक है, the prices always varies. So when the prices varies of the raw material, the prices varies of the labor, the prices varies of the equipment, the prices varies of the utilities. When the prices varies of all the raw material which you are required to develop your end product, then you have to increase the price. You can never, obviously you are the commercial company, you cannot bear the cost through your own pocket. You can never compromise the profitability of your company or the future performance of your company plan. Okay. अच्छा जी, लेक्चर अपलोड का क्वेश्चन आया है. देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन सर, रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर अपलोड कर देगा. देखा जी, देयर इज नो प्रॉमिस. द यूनिवर्सिटी हैज ऑल द राइट विद दिस लेक्चर. दिस इज द देयर इज अ राइट with the university. If the university will upload this lecture, I don't have any problem. So hopefully this lecture will be uploaded. सर लेक्चर की वीडियो वीएलई अपलोड कर देगा भाई. लेक्चर की ठीक है, बिल्कुल आपको वीडियो अपलोड हो जाएगी. ठीक है. अच्छा, देयर आर फ्यू पॉइंट्स टू रिमेंबर. लेट्स focus on the slides. There are few points to remember. Let me drink a glass of water. There are few points to remember, which for that I have made the dedicated slide so that you remember these points. The strategic fit required that the company's supply chain achieve the balance between the responsiveness and efficiency that best meets the needs of the company's competitive strategy. अब आप समझिए कि strategic fit जो है requires that the company supply chain achieve the balance. ठीक है, the balance is very very important. ठीक है, there has to be balance between responsiveness and efficiency. ठीक है, you can never be 100% efficient, you can never want to actually. ठीक है, and you can never want to be 100% responsible. ठीक है, there has to be balance because at the end of the day you always have to take care of your profitability. ठीक, and you can never think about your profitability all the time. You have to take care upon your customers as well. So responsiveness and efficiency both are important. That best meet the need of the company's competitive strategy. अब ये आपको देखना है कि आपकी comparative strategy किससे satisfy होगी. Comparative strategy आपको याद होगा कि we made a comparative strategy on the basis of the quality, the responsiveness, the quality, the delivery, the variation in the product. ठीक है जी, the availability of the product, the variety of the product. ठीक है जी, the quality of the product. These all the basis of developing the comparative strategy. And the second point is cross-functional driver have become increasingly important in raising the supply chain surplus in recent years. Yes, cross-functional drivers have become increasingly important. The other drivers are also important, they are major, but cross-functional driver make the companies distinct from the other. For example, whenever we talk about the best-in-class company, for example, we talk about the Zara Man, we talk about the Walmart, we talk about the Apple. These are the companies which have focused on their cross-function drivers a lot. They have the best in class information system, they have the best in class sourcing, they have the differential pricing, they satisfy the customer through their pricing. Okay, they have a different kind of pricing for their customer to satisfy their competitive strategy. Okay, while logistics remains a major part, supply chain management is increasingly becoming focused on three cost function drivers. ये आपसे बात हुई, ठीक है. एक क्वेश्चन है रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस एंड एफिशिएंसी का बैलेंस हर एस्पेक्ट को ध्यान में रखना है, नॉट जस्ट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी. बिल्कुल सही कि देखें सिर्फ प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, इफ वी कीप इन आवर माइंड द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ओनली, देन वी कैन लूज द कस्टमर्स. ठीक है. फॉर एग्जांपल यू गो टू द शॉप एंड यू आस्क अ प्रोडक्ट कि वी हैव दिस प्रोडक्ट व्हिच इज वेरी रनिंग, व्हिच इज इन डिमांड, फॉर एग्जांपल हैंड वॉश और हैंड सैनिटाइजर और मास्क और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. ठीक. एंड द शॉपकीपर सेड आई डोंट हैव. So basically, he is not interested in the response to the customer. He is interested in the efficiency, and you will never return at the store sometimes. Why? Because you say, okay, why should I go to that store? Because it does not have the product. So to some extent, you have to give the response. For example, if you go to a store and you ask for some product, and they say no, we don't have. We have this kind of product. You may buy it. If the shopkeeper say we don't have any kind of product of that category, for example, we don't have any kind of UHT milk, then you will never go to that shop. If the shopkeeper will say we have this kind of, for example, good milk, I have a good milk, I have a milk pack, but I don't have all-pur, so you won't mind a lot. You would say okay, and you may ask why this all-pur is not available at your shop. You may say that because of the extraordinary buying of the customers, it is not available. So this kind of response won't hurt your customer footfall. Okay, customer will be coming to your shop because you are not keeping in view the efficiency only. So my point is you have to balance it. You cannot only take care of the profitability all the time. You have to take care of the efficiency. Unfortunately, most of our companies, local companies, consider the efficiency a lot and they consider the profitability. That's why they are not famous and they are not big brands. They are not well known to the world. लेकिन सप्लाई चेन का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी होती है, तो उसी को देखकर सारे ऑपरेशंस करे जाते हैं, या बैलेंस भी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी को देखते हुए रखा जाएगा. देखिए सप्लाई चेन का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है ना वो होता तो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है, ठीक है, लेकिन बैलेंस के साथ. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि यू डोंट हैव एनी कस्टमर फॉर योर प्रोडक्ट, तो आपकी क्या प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी मेंटेन रह सकती है? आपका कस्टमर ही कोई नहीं, ठीक है. यू डोंट हैव एनी कस्टमर्स, आर यू गेटिंग अ पॉइंट? सो यू नीड टू हैव योर कस्टमर इन टाइम. And how can you have your customer in the long term? Through giving the right balance and through giving the response, the good kind of response, the expected response of the customer. हर चीज बैलेंस में होनो चाहिए है. हर चीज बैलेंस में होना चाहिए. हाँ, हर चीज बैलेंस में होना चाहिए है. बिल्कुल सही का फरमाया. कस्टमर की डिजायर या उसकी हिसाब से प्रोडक्ट होगा तो इट विल कैरी प्रॉफिट. चाहिए, बिल्कुल सही. कस्टमर के हिसाब से ना भी होती है, कस्टमर तो ऑलवेज विश करता है कि उसकी तमाम ख्वाहिशात पूरी हो, ठीक है. तो टू एवरी एक्सटेंट यू कैन नॉट फुलफिल, ठीक है. यू हैव द लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज, सो यू विल गो फॉर द बेस्ट ऑफ योर चॉइस, ठीक है. यू हैव टू सेटिस्फाई द कस्टमर बट इन योर लिमिटेड कंस्ट्रेंट, ठीक है. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सर एक सवाल है, चलिए फरमाइए. एक सवाल है. Attendance, I have already told you that attendance will be taken automatically, ठीक है. Attendance will be taken automatically. I have already told you on the chat at really, ठीक है. चले आगे मूव करते हैं, टाइम शॉर्ट है, इन चक्रों में नहीं पड़े. सप्लाई चेन डिसीजन मेकिंग फ्रेमवर्क. अच्छा, this is one of the most important slide. See on this slide, comparative strategy is giving the supply chain is giving the constraint to the supply chain strategy. For example, first any company has to develop their comparative strategy, and through the comparative strategy, the company can make their supply chain strategy. And as per the supply chain strategy, you have to balance your efficiency and responsiveness. And for balancing the efficiency and responsiveness, you have to use all the cross-functional and logistical drivers. ठीक है, क्लियर है? पर बस शेयर यार अब छोड़ दे, लग जाएगी अटेंडेंस। हाँ चले, अब आगे मूव कर दें। अजान हो रही है, अजान का ब्रेक ले लेते हैं जस्ट फॉर अ व्हाइल। अच्छा भाई, अजान इज ओवर। अच्छा देखें, PSL क्यों कैंसिल हुआ, व्हाट आई केम टू नो that one of the foreign player got coronavirus in Pakistan, so that's it. This is the reason, ठीक है? Since it is very sensitive, और वो फेक न्यूज़ थी, मे बी वो फेक न्यूज़ थी, but that can be the reason. I don't know. Okay, let's come to the supply chain. I am not very fond of cricket nowadays. Acha, the last topic which we will be covering, we have to end this session. Acha ji, this is the last topic which we are covering, that is facilities. See, facilities, here we are defining the facilities in detail. Okay, I already talked you before. Role in the supply chain, what are the role of the facility in the supply chain? Okay, what is the role of the facility in the supply chain? What is the role in the comparative strategy? What is the role of facility in the comparative strategy? Components of facilities decisions: role, location, and capacity. These are the components. Okay, first हमने क्या बताया कि role in the supply chain. What is the role of facility in the supply chain? What is the role in the comparative strategy of one of the driver, that is facility? And what are the components? If we have broken down the facility in three components, that is role, location, and capacity. Okay. देखिए जी, अभी जो आपके सवाल है ना, थोड़ी देर रोक के रखें। आई विल गिव यू लास्ट 5 मिनट्स, ठीक? उसमें आप मुझसे पूछ लीजिएगा ये सवाल मिड वर्क कब होंगे, ये होंगे, ये होंगे। बस मैं आपको बताता हूँ, आई डोंट हैव एनी क्लू अबाउट द मिड, ठीक है? ठीक है जी, अब थोड़ा सा पढ़ाई की तरफ आ जाएं। एग्जाम्पल दी गए मैंने, मैं तो अभी बात कर रहा हूँ फैसिलिटी की बात। शेयर साहब, आप बिल्कुल बस मस्त चल रहे हैं। आई हैव नॉट गिविंग एनी एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है? मैंने आपसे ये कहा है भाई, ये क्वेश्चन नहीं करें कि वैसे एग्जाम्स कैसे होंगे सर, मिड कब होंगे। दिस इज ऑल इरेलीवेंट. I have no information about it, so you are asking these questions to the wrong person, ठीक है? So you have to find the relevant person that can be the student facilitator जो भी बैठे हैं, ठीक है, उनसे आप रब्ता कर सकते हैं। फिर वही सर वैसे कहें यानी 4 तो भाई मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है हाँ मैंने नहीं कहना बेटा सर आई एम सेइंग द कंपोनेंट्स पार्ट जो हैं वो एग्जाम्पल से समझाएं। अच्छा मैंने हाँ समझाता हूँ, मैंने तो क्या समझाऊंगा, ये तो मैं खाली आपको एक ओवरव्यू दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है। हम आ जाते हैं उसके ऊपर, ठीक है। ये इसकी जो बुक है इसको ओपन कर लेते हैं, डिटेल में आपको बताया था इस बुक में, ठीक है। कम टू द पेज नंबर 60 आई थिंक, ठीक है। ये आ गया फैसिलिटीज, ठीक है। अच्छा जी, अब इसको जरा फोकस कर लें। आई वांट टू टीच यू इन डिटेल बिकॉज रेस्ट ऑफ द ड्राइवर्स यू विल हैव टू स्टडी बाय ओन, ये बता दूंगा। रेस्ट ऑफ द ड्राइवर्स यू विल हैव टू स्टडी बाय ओन, ठीक है। तो ये मैं आपको ओनली ड्राइवर पढ़ाऊंगा, तो इसको बहुत फोकस से सुनिएगा, ऐसा नहीं हो कि यू मिस इट एंड यू वोंट हैव एनी आइडिया दैट हाउ टू गो अबाउट इट। लेट्स स्टार्ट फैसिलिटीज, ठीक है, ठीक है। इट्स चलो खैर, ये इट कैन नॉट बी एक्सपेंड मच, तो ये थोड़ा हम बर्दाश्त, हाँ यहाँ से यहाँ से हो जाए, ठीक है। अच्छा बच्चों, पेज नंबर, किसी ने पेज नंबर, पेज नंबर है 61, पेज नंबर 48 लिखा हुआ है और ऊपर आप वर्ड पे लिखेंगे 61 तो ये ओपन हो जाए, पेज नंबर 48। ये डाउनलोडेड बुक है, बुक विच इज ऑन 3 of 3, ये क्या 3 हाँ 3.3, ठीक है 3.3 है, ये सही कहा किसी ने, फिर आपने 3.3, ठीक है। अच्छा जी, तो ठीक है, लेट्स आई अज्यूम दैट यू ऑल आर ऑन पेज नंबर 48, ठीक है। 3.3 facilities. In this section we discuss the role that facilities play in the supply chain as well as critical facility related decisions that supply chain managers need to make, ठीक है। This is the critical facility related decisions that the supply chain managers need to make। सबसे पहले हम डिस्कस करते हैं रोल इन दी सप्लाई चेन, ठीक है। If you think of inventory as what is being passed along the supply chain and transportation as how it is passed, ठीक है। What is passed, how it is passed, facilities are where of the supply chain, what is the physical location, ठीक है। They are the location to or from which the inventory is transported। Within a facility, inventory is either transformed into another state or it is stored। फैसिलिटी का डिसाइड करना है कि रोल इन द सप्लाई चेन क्या है फैसिलिटी का। ईदर द फैसिलिटी यू हैव इट इज़ द असेंबलिंग फैसिलिटी, इट इज़ द फैब्रिकेटिंग फैसिलिटी, इट इज़ द वेयरहाउसिंग फैसिलिटी, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फैसिलिटी डू यू हैव, व्हाट इज़ द रोल ऑफ योर फैसिलिटी, ठीक है। अच्छा, these are the locations, in the supply chain, so its location is very important। Within a facility, inventory is either transformed into another state or it is stored। This is very important। this आप ये डिफाइन करेंगे कि रोल क्या है फैसिलिटी का इन द सप्लाई चेन। एग्जाम्पल से जैसे एक स्टूडेंट ने कहा था, तो मैं बताया था एग्जाम्पल से आपको। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आपके पास एक प्रोडक्ट आती है, उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म करते हैं अनदर स्टेट में, ठीक है। आप उसको फैब्रिकेशन करते हैं, ठीक है। आपके पास कोई भी ओल्ड प्रोडक्ट आती है, फॉर एग्जांपल uh, there is a product which comes in Pakistan and you repack it or you change its tagging or something like that. ठीक है. Usually it happens in Munda. ठीक है. It happens in Munda where the product comes and it is changed their state. ठीक है, उसको आप fabrication कर देते हैं and or you store in a warehouse. So you have a different kind of facilities. ठीक है. One facility of your warehousing and one facility of your fabrication. ठीक है. One can be the manufacturing facility. For example, Nestle has a different kind of facilities. They have the manufacturing facility. ठीक है. And where they have the manufacturing facility, they have the manufacturing facility at which location plus the storage facility they have. So what kind of storage facility they have? They have the semi-finished good storage facility. They have the finished good storage facility. So what is the role of this of the facility in the supply chain? This is very important. Role in the comparative strategy. Facility are a key driver of supply chain performance in terms of responsiveness and efficiency. For example, companies can gain economy of scale when a product is manufactured or stored in only one location. अब देखें, ये बता रहे हैं कि आप इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल गेन कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. Economy of scale. For example, the product can be manufactured by the Nestle Pakistan in most of the major cities in Pakistan, but they never manufacture. Why? Because of the economy of scale. ठीक है. Economy of scale is very important for them. Why? Because it has the low margin product. They have the low margin product. Most of their products are low margin, except few. Their products are low margin. The major contributor are of low margin. So this centralization increases efficiency. Actually, ठीक है. In bulk, in batches, they produce the product in thousands of the batch in a go. ठीक है. The cost reduction, however, comes at the expense of responsiveness. Obviously, cost reduction होती है, but at the expense of responsiveness. For example, if any customer will say, I want that many cartons, you can never provide until your facility is available and you can have the bulk production facility available for you. ठीक है. तो लोकेटिंग फैसिलिटी क्लोज टू कस्टमर इंक्रीजेस द नंबर ऑफ फैसिलिटीज नीडेड. यस, आप टोयोटा और होंडा की एग्जांपल इसमें दी हुई है कि टोयोटा और होंडा और टोयोटा ये अमूमी तौर पे क्या करते हैं, दे हैव द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी और असेंबलिंग फैसिलिटी इन द कंट्री so that they give better response to the customers. ठीक है. प्लस उनको उसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है, प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम करेंसी फ्लक्चुएशंस भी बच जाते हैं, ट्रेड बैरियर से बच जाते हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस बढ़ जाती है. ठीक है. बट दे कीप फॉलोइंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ देयर प्रोडक्ट. ये क्योंकि बड़े ब्रांड, दे हैव देयर नेम. ठीक है. So this is important. The next is components of facility decisions. First component is role, location, and capacity. Decision regarding facility are a crucial part of supply chain decision. We now identify components of facility decision that company must analyze. Role for production facilities, firms must decide whether they will be flexible, dedicated, or a combination of the two. This is very important. उसका role क्या होगा facility का, production facility का? फ्लेक्सिबल होगी, डेडिकेटेड होगी और कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ फ्लेक्सिबल डेडिकेटेड को समझ लें. फ्लेक्सिबल और डेडिकेटेड में क्या डिफरेंस है? डेडिकेटेड होती है कि वहाँ पर सिर्फ एक ही तरह की प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस होगी. फॉर एग्जांपल, वहाँ पर सिर्फ 1.8 जो है वो आपकी ग्रेडी प्रोड्यूस होगी. ठीक है, मैन्युफैक्चर होगी. और अगर फ्लेक्सिबल आपकी प्रोडक्शन फैसिलिटी, सो इट कैन प्रोड्यूस ग्रेंडी एज वेल, इट कैन प्रोड्यूस other cars as well. ठीक है. So this is the difference. A combination of the two, that the one facility can be a dedicated or a flexible. Obviously, it incurs cost. So usually companies go for the flexible or dedicated, or sometimes a combination of the two. Flexible capacity can be used for many types of the product, but is often less efficient. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि obviously it incurs the cost. ठीक है. इसके आपकी जो स्पेशलिटी है, स्पेशलिटी ऑफ द लेबर होगी, स्पेशल लेबर जो होगी वो इफेक्ट हो जाएगी. प्लस आपकी रॉ मटेरियल इफेक्ट होगा, आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी मल्टीपल चाहिए होगी. ठीक है. फिर आपको ऑब्वियसली जब फ्लेक्सिबल होंगे, व्हेन यू आर फ्लेक्सिबल इट मींस you are able to accommodate different काइंड ऑफ डिमांड ऑफ योर कस्टमर, उसमें आपकी अलग कॉस्ट आएगी, फिर आप यू कैन नेवर हैव द इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल। ठीक है, दे आर मैनी थिंग्स विच आर, इसको आप पढ़ लेंगे इन डिटेल। हम लोकेशन चलाते हैं सिंस वी आर शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम। मुझे भी अच्छी लगू सर, होंडा का एक एग्जाम्पल अच्छी अच्छी लागू, ये कौन है भाई, मोहम्मद मुदस्सिर, मुझे भी अच्छी लागू। अच्छा, location deciding where a company will locate its facility constitutes a large part of the design of a supply chain. अच्छा देखें, where a company will locate its facility, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ठीक है, since the location incurs cost and you trade off with the location whether to centralize or gain the economy to gain the economy of scale or to decentralize to become more responsive। ठीक है, हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया, दोबारा डिस्कस करें। कैपेसिटी की बात करते हैं, कंपनीज मस्ट also determine a facility's capacity must also determine a facility's capacity to perform its intended function or functions. A large amount of excess capacity allows the facility to be very flexible and to respond to wide swings in the demand placed on it. देखिए कैपेसिटी क्या होती है, उसकी सलाहियत कि वो कितना प्रोड्यूस कर सकती है, या व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी, वो कितना स्टोर कर सकती है। ठीक है, तो कैपेसिटी जो है वो अगर आपकी 100% होगी तो वो आपकी फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं हो सकती, एक्सेस कैपेसिटी होगी तो उसकी कॉस्ट होगी, सो देयर इज अ ट्रेड ऑफ। ठीक है, ये आप देखिएगा। फैसिलिटी रिलेटेड मैट्रिक्स हैं। नेक्स्ट सर एक बात बताएं, बुक हम ये वाली से पढ़ें तो काफ़ी है, ये बुक परचेज करें थे वही, परचेज डोंट परचेज ठीक है, दिस इज वेरी वेरी unusual statement of mine. ठीक है, this is very uncommon statement of mine. I always say that purchase the book, but मैं ये कह रहा हूँ don't purchase the book. सर ऑफिस की भी छुट्टी हो गई सर, ऑफ कर दो। अच्छा अब ऑफ होने वाला है, ऑफ होने वाला है, ऑफ होने वाला है। फैसिलिटी रिलेटेड मैट्रिक्स देखें, ये मैट्रिक्स मैट्रिक्स व्हाट डज मैट्रिक्स मीन, मैट्रिक्स मीन्स टू मेजर। ठीक है, नाउ वॉट एवर वी हैव स्टडीड इन द फैसिलिटी, नाउ वी हैव टू मेजर इट, कि अ मैनेजर शुड ट्रैक, हमें ट्रैकिंग करना ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि सिंस यू विल बी अ सप्लाई चेन मैनेजर, बीइंग अ सप्लाई चेन मैनेजर you need to measure the performance of your one of the driver important driver, that is facility. So one of the metric is capacity, measure the maximum amount a facility can process। ठीक है, यूटिलाइजेशन, मेजर द फ्रैक्शन ऑफ कैपेसिटी दैट इज करेंटली बीइंग यूज्ड, कितना परसेंट यूज हो रहा है, 40% यूज हो रहा है, कितने परसेंट। थ्योरेटिकल फ्लो या साइकिल टाइम ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, क्या मतलब कि कितने टाइम में प्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए एक यूनिट उसको। एक्चुअल एवरेज फ्लो या साइकिल टाइम, के एवरेज का मतलब मल्टीपल जितनी प्रोडक्ट बनी है उसका एवरेज साइकिल टाइम क्या है, एवरेज कितनी देर में प्रोड्यूस होगी। फ्लो टाइम एफिशिएंसी इज द रेशियो ऑफ द थ्योरेटिकल फ्लो, कि भाई होना कितना चाहिए और उसके अगेंस्ट हुआ कितना है। ठीक है, तो ये पता चल जाएगा फ्लो टाइम एफिशिएंसी। प्रोडक्ट वैरायटी क्या है, मेजर द नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स प्रोसेस्ड इन अ फैसिलिटी। तो नंबर ऑफ प्रोडक्ट जो है वो आपकी कितनी प्रोसेस हो रही है एक फैसिलिटी से। वॉल्यूम कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ टॉप 20% SKU and customers, measure the fraction of total volume processed by a facility that come from the top 20% of SKU or the customer। बेसिकली आपको बताता है कि आपके टॉप 20% जो SKU है, ये कस्टमर हैं, वो आपके टोटल फ्रैक्शन ऑफ वॉल्यूम, ये असल में जो फ़ायदा होता है इसका वहाँ होता है जहाँ पर आप डिफरेंट किस्म की सर्विसेज दे रहे थे। फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, यू हैव डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ स्टाफ विच इज़ डीलिंग विद दी 20% ऑफ दी SKU टॉप कस्टमर्स या टॉप SKUs। तो वहाँ पर आप जो है ना मैनिपुलेशन करते हैं, वहाँ पर आप और फोकस करते हैं और ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव योर बिजनेस। दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट। प्रोसेसिंग सेटअप डाउन आइडल टाइम, basically measure the fraction of time that the facility was processing unit being set up to processing unavailable because it was down, तो उसका आइडियल टाइम है, उसने कुछ भी परफॉर्म नहीं किया, इट हैड नो यूनिट्स टू प्रोसेस, उसके पास कोई यूनिट ही नहीं थे प्रोसेस करने के। ठीक है, तो ये आइडियल टाइम कितना रहा है जब उसने कुछ भी प्रोड्यूस नहीं किया। एवरेज प्रोडक्शन बैच साइज, प्रोडक्शन का एवरेज बैच साइज या बैच का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो बल्क का है। मेजर द एवरेज अमाउंट प्रोड्यूस इन ईच प्रोडक्शन बैच। बैच का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो 100 कम से कम 100 एक वक्त में प्रोड्यूस होता है। इससे भी ज़्यादा हो सकता है, 1000 भी हो सकते हैं, 10,000 भी हो सकते हैं, डिपेंड अपॉन दी मशीनरी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। Large batch sizes will decrease production cost but increase inventory in the supply chain. बिल्कुल सही है। When you have the large batch size, it will decrease the production cost क्योंकि बल्क में एक साथ प्रोड्यूस हो जाएगा और आपकी जो है वो इकोनॉमी ऑफ स्केल हासिल हो जाएगा। रॉ मटेरियल में आपको बल्क में परचेज कर रॉ मटेरियल मैन्युफैक्चर कर सकते हैं और आप, लेकिन आपकी इन्वेंट्री बढ़ जाएगी। ऑब्वियसली जब बल्क में खरीदेंगे तो आपकी फिनिश की बढ़ जाएगी और आपकी रॉ मटेरियल की बढ़ जाएगी। प्रोडक्शन सर्विस लेवल मेजर द फ्रैक्शन ऑफ प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर्स कंप्लीटेड ऑन टाइम एंड फुल, कि आपकी जो प्रोडक्शन है वो ऑन टाइम हो रही है एंड फुल हो रही है, कि जो भी आपको प्रोड्यूस करना है वो टाइम पे कर रहा है और कंप्लीट करना नहीं कर रहा है, यानी कंप्लीट कर रहा है। ठीक है, तो ये हमारा कंप्लीट हो गया। लोकेशन फैसिलिटीज़ हमारा कंप्लीट हो गया। आपने करना ये है कि लाइक द सेम, ठीक है, यू हैव टू स्टडी इन्वेंट्री, यू हैव टू स्टडी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, you have to study information, you have to study sourcing, ठीक है, you have to study pricing by your own, ठीक है। And I have given you assignment in which you have to attempt all of the discussion questions, in which you have to attempt all of the discussion questions. 3 participants are raising hands। चलिए मैं आप लोगों को जल्दी सवाल का आंसर दे देता हूँ। Is supply chain is there in service industry advertising agency में supply chain कैसे यूज होगी? देखें, सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में सप्लाई चेन बिल्कुल होती है, लेकिन उसकी ऑब्वियसली उसको उसमें सेम टू सेम अप्लाई नहीं होता, ठीक है। यू नेवर अप्लाई विद द मैन्युफैक्चरर, इट्स अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सप्लाई चेन विच यू फॉलो। सर एंड में असाइनमेंट का समझा दीजिएगा। मैं समझा रहा हूँ कि मैंने जो भी पढ़ाया है और जो बाकी दिए आपको होमवर्क, उसके थ्रू आप तमाम असाइनमेंट करेंगे एंड इट्स एन इंडिविजुअल असाइनमेंट, इट्स एन इंडिविजुअल असाइनमेंट, मतलब कि ठीक है। अच्छा जी, सर एंड में असाइनमेंट को समझा दीजिएगा, ठीक है। यस शेरी बॉस, ये छुट्टी लाइट इंडिविजुअल, सर लाइट जाने के लिए और दे दें, इंडिविजुअल या ग्रुप, इंडिविजुअल है, इंडिविजुअल है, ठीक है सर, कर लेंगे असाइनमेंट सर, ग्रुप नो इंडिविजुअल। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू एवरीवन, थैंक यू एवरीवन, थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम।